After checking out the park, it was time to ride about 30 miles north to the small town of Pipestone, Minnesota. Pipestone is the only national monument in Minnesota. The Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota Plains tribes consider Pipestone to be sacred ground, much like Devil's Tower a couple hundred miles to the west. They quarry a special clay that is easy to work with called Minnesota catlinite. The mineral is used to create pipes called chanunpas, essential to many cultural practices of the Plains nations. Archaeological evidence puts human quarrying at this site back 3,000 years. At this time in the Old World, Israel crowned King David in its golden age, and the Phoenicians were creating the oldest known alphabet while trading around the Mediterranean. Thousands of years later, in the post-Columbian era, Minnesota statehood restricted the majority of the land the Dakota once roamed to white settlement. The Yankton Sioux, the western division of the Dakota tribes, were the only Plains natives given special rights to the land at Pipestone through a treaty. During the troubled times leading up to the Dakota War, many Dakotan pipe makers would create other effigies and trinkets out of the stone to sell to white settlers. It was a good source of income in those trying times. Now that we're at Pipestone, I guess I better let you know what the pipes themselves were used for. Pipes from quarries at Pipestone were used for varying uses across the different tribes of the Great Plains. They could be used to honor or remember their ancestors. They were passed around during coronations regarding rites of passage, family gatherings, special occasions such as wedding ceremonies, hunting and traveling rituals, or council meetings. Tribal members who would pack the pipe or use it first could also differ from family to family, tribe to tribe, and occasion to occasion. Mixtures packed into the pipes would be mainly laced with tobacco and other herbs such as sumac leaves, dogwood bark, bearberries, and other natural substances with homeopathic properties.
So here we are in the quarries of Pipestone. Currently a little flooded. There is Sioux quartzite on top of layers of that they have to get through to get to the Pipestone underneath. All of this is done with just simple tools. No major equipment. Just hand tools, really. Shovels, wheelbarrows, like little scalpels for details, files.
Sioux quartzite is one of the hardest minerals in the world. It's perfect for quarrying, and in being so, it has built some of the oldest structures in the region. Because of this layer's durability, the manner in which the Pipestone is quarried is very labor-intensive. Only members of the nation's 562 federally recognized tribes can apply for quarry permits. It can take a maximum of several years between the time of application and the time the quarry is available. Quarrying itself is very rigorous and exhaustive. It could take anywhere between a few days and a few years to yield satisfactory results.
It's really windy, so I hope you can hear this. The origin story here is that when the natives were living here, it started raining. And then it rained and rained and rained. And it never stopped. And the rain was so bad that it began to flood. A girl saw a hill, and she ran to the top of the hill as she could hear the screams of her families and members of her tribe drowning. And when she went to the top, she was surrounded by water, and she prayed. She prayed to the Great Spirit. The Great Spirit answered. When she was there, she heard wings flapping. And she looked up, and it was an eagle. And out of the eagle came a man and said he wanted to marry her. He ended up marrying her, and that is how all the humans around are here today. The people that had died, their blood had soaked into the rock underneath, and that's why Pipestone is red. I mean, I can't even imagine how old some of these holes could be. I mean, how long have they been working here? You know, thousands of years, literally. So, they use tobacco in the pipe, and the smoke that comes out of the tobacco after being inhaled from the pipe itself is supposed to be their wishes and their prayers going up to the gods. Literally in smoke out of the pipes themselves. And for thousands of years they did this. This is an active pit. You can see, unfortunately, that it's full of water, which is fine. That's going to happen in a quarry. But this is all that Sioux quartzite they got to dig through. This is a holy site. This is the center of religion here. It's important to remember this. The generations of people are taking up this art and this craft of just digging in the soil, getting to rock, breaking through that rock, getting to another rock, fashioning that rock into a pipe, and smoking tobacco out of it. So much work.